Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey, episode 119. 119. At the home studio with Chris.
Hello.
And Lorenzo.
Hello.
And somebody else here at the table. But hey, anyways.
Hello.
How the heck are you doing, Chris?
Well, I'm good. I'm real good. Thanks for asking. It's we haven't been in the home studio, and my God, it's been like a month.
It's been nice, though. We've been in way better recording locations.
Absolutely.
Around real campfires.
Real campfires.
With real people. Without a mask.
Without a mask.
In the forest.
Using the portable recording equipment.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, we're here in the home studio, so we got the big Christmas tree board going with all the fancy colors and touch panels and whatnots. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's just
So we give up a little sound quality to be out in the forest.
A little bit, but not much.
That's all right.
Our remote studio is pretty badass.
I like it.
So, anyway, yep. It's a stark reminder that we're back in the real world.
We are back. Oh, it is so. I got home and it was just like just got thrown into the deep end of the work pool.
You and me both.
And it was like I was treading for water. I was so fat from all the food and beverages that we imbibed in, and I was sinking quick.
Oh boy.
Felt like I was in quicksand.
Isn't fat supposed to be buoyant?
I don't know. Only in boats, I think. I don't know. But anyways, came back up for air, recording this podcast. We're going to call this our Meadow Lake Sierra Trek recap.
Yes, sir.
Our recap. So great. Oh my God. So much fun. So many stories, and we're not going to be able to cover them all, but we'll hit the highlights here.
Yeah.
And some of the people we saw and met, and it was really cool. So before we get into that, though, Chris, we do need to say that Dirtbag Johnny finally delivered. I mean, like, people have received their shirt from the 100th episode.
That's correct.
19 episodes ago.
I'm getting confirmation that people are receiving their shirts.
I've seen some posted on the IG tagging us, so that's awesome. So we do shirts are out there.
That's right. Johnny's not drinking anymore either.
Nope, and it's all good. He already said for the 200th episode that he doesn't want to be there. It cost him too much money. But that's all right. And then our Old Elk patrons, the $20 tier patrons, got a little something extra from Old Elk.
That's right.
Little swag delivery there. So hope you guys and gals are enjoying that. And thank you so much for being a patron. And it was nice of Johnny to contribute to that T-shirt fund there to make that happen. So
absolutely,
yeah, freaking awesome.
Speaking of our patrons,
I
was talking to you earlier in the month here that I think that we had originally initiated our Patreon account and opened up for membership back about a year ago, actually, first week of August.
Was it really a year ago, huh?
That's right. So we have some anniversaries, if you will.
I like it.
People that have been with us since the beginning.
Who was number one?
I
know who number one was.
Georgia Boy.
It was Georgia Boy.
He's our first patron.
He was supposed to be here tonight.
He was going to drive up, but
he was putting in a dishwasher or something. He said
he's tired, or maybe he smashed a toe. I don't know.
Oh, I did that. No, but he said, I called him up. I'm like, hey, are you coming? You're the one that instigated this whole thing. Let's record and do a recap. And I said, yeah, that'd be great. And then
no, he gone
doing dishwasher.
Yep. So Kobe, thank you for being our first patron.
He's doing the dishwasher.
He's still in the dishwasher?
No, done. Anyways.
I don't know. Oh, I get you. Woo, went right over my head.
But circle back.
So, all right. So, yeah, Kobe, thank you for being our first patron. You signed up on August 2nd, so a couple weeks late, but better late than never, right? Second up, Jimmy Jet.
Jimmy Jet was number 2?
Jimmy Jet's number 2 from Snail Trail 4x4. That's
so
correct.
we didn't talk to Jimmy Jet, but we need to have a conversation with Jimmy Jet.
Yeah,
because he has a whole different connotation of what our Patreon is. We don't give away gift boxes and shit.
Not all the time.
No, but we surprise you with fun things. We take care of our patrons,
like shirts and.
But we don't bribe patrons by like, oh, sign up for our top tier and get a gift box.
Nope.
But we send out stuff, and we got our next thing planned is going to be cool.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Anyways, okay, so Jimmy Jet.
Jimmy Jet.
From that Snail Boys.
Snail Trail 4x4.
Our redheaded step cousin podcast.
Right. So, up next is
Nothing against redheads, CJ.
Right? Rusty Lit Off-Road. He's not he is a patron.
He is a patron.
Okay, we're not, I don't think hold on. Let's just get going.
I'm sorry. I'm derailing this thing. So I'm like the Mike Austin of podcasting right now. Sorry.
You talk a lot, man.
I'm sorry. Shut off my mic. Well, I'm trying to catch up from the Wix episode where I didn't talk very much.
Right. Hey, did everybody like that when I kind of took over the show? It's a little feedback.
I think they did.
You can send some responses to the IG or even to Chris or Jason at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. That'd be great. Up next for patrons, our 1-year anniversary, we have Rob Santillano. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but Rob, thank you for being a patron for a whole year. That's awesome. Up next, Charles Locke.
Charles Locke from Australia.
Yeah, from down under.
Good day, mate.
Good day. Well, that's pretty bad.
I know. Hey, I saw the the Dirt to Whiskey podcast that the Rocklander was doing. So Charles Locke is a member of theirs too. He supports all the podcasts here in America. I love that off-roading podcast.
Bringing it in.
That's good, man. I love it.
Very cool.
When the tide rises, all the ships come up.
Exactly. Up next, Sherpa. Sherpa's been a patron of ours for a whole year.
Has he really?
Yep.
And you never met him.
I have not met him face to face.
I've met him twice.
I look forward to his letters or his emails, which are not appropriate for listening. but yeah, Sherpa, the whole year. Thank you for your support, Sherpa. Appreciate it. Trevor Clark, he signed up in August of 2020 also. Thank you, Trevor.
Yeah.
Rob Lutz signed up again in August of 2020. And then Ron Tuttle.
Oh, Ron. We actually saw Ron recently here.
Yes, we did. Absolutely.
And his Unimog with the camper on the back. That thing is badass.
It is badass.
It is badass.
It's kind of funny.
Unique and badass.
He drove into Meadow Lake campground, and I recognized the rig, but I'm like, he's like, hey, do you know where my camp? He mentioned his club, and I'm like, nah, man, I don't know where they're camped. And then he comes wandering over to our
the booth.
The booth that we had at main camp. And he says, "Hey, Chris, it's Ron." I'm like, "Oh shit, how you doing?" So anyway, it was good to see. It's good to see you, Ron. Good to see your rig. Glad you made it up to Trek. That's awesome, and thank you for being a patron for a whole year. Appreciate that.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, dude. The list keeps going. I mean, we got Tyson Rail.
Our jet mechanic, our private jet mechanic. We still haven't seen our jet lately.
I know.
I think it got sold at auction to cover Lorenzo's escapades.
Maybe.
Is that right, Lorenzo?
Might have gotten repoed.
Why is he putting his hoofs over his eyes right now?
Well,
I'm pretty sure. I need to look into that with Tyson because I think that's what happened.
He's ashamed. But had a jet, got the jet taken away. I don't know. Can't have nice things. Apparently.
His tail's between his legs right now.
Well, that's a good place for it. So. Up next, Dave Wiles. Appreciate your support, Dave. Absolutely.
All right, Dave. That's yes.
Awesome. Then up next is Heath Powell. Another 1-year patron. Awesome. Thank you. And then Kenny Alger.
Oh, Kenny. Local boy here.
Local boy. That's right. I guess South San
Alger
Jose.
Fab.
Yep. Alger Fab. Thank you for your support, Kenny. Appreciate it.
I was wearing his hat the other day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
It's
a nice hat. Yeah. He gave us each a hat and some.
I have stickers. I know that.
Stickers.
I'll have to look
hat.
and see where that hat ended up.
Yeah. It's nice. I got a brown one. It was unique because I'm like, I don't have any brown hats.
Oh, there you go.
It was mesh. Nice.
Wow. You don't wear hats very often either.
No, I've been wearing hats a lot. They're trying to cover up the bald spots on my head. No, not bald spots. Gray spots.
I wear hats to keep my scalp from burning.
Well, that and it's just, I don't know why, if I'm getting older or what, and I wear sunscreen, but it seems like the sun is so much more freaking intense.
Well, it is when you're up in the mountains.
Well, it is up in the mountains for sure.
7,000 feet closer.
No, it is up in the mountains for sure. But
I guess when you're 93 million miles, 7,000 feet shouldn't make a difference. But I guess it's the thinness of the atmosphere at that point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I don't know. Anyways,
That's kind of high science right there.
so all of those are 1 year anniversaries.
Well, we have a couple more. Well, not quite. We haven't reached that date yet. Oh, we have.
No,
Sorry, Ellen is also 1 year. So thank you all.
Ellen went wheeling at Trek. She did the Signal Peak run.
Did she do Signal Peak and Bear Valley?
I think
or
she
just
did Signal Peak and Bear Valley. Maybe she only did Bear Valley.
I think she only did Bear Valley.
Only did Bear Valley. Andy did Signal Peak and Bear Valley.
Yeah, Andy wheeled it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you all of you for being patrons for a whole year. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. This is something that we were reluctant to jump into that arena, but we said, well, let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, there it is. A little delayed. Chris is a little rusty on the board there. That's why.
That's right. It's only been a month.
Yeah. So no, that is freaking awesome. We thank each and every one of the patrons out there for throwing your hard-earned cash at us and Lorenzo, and we have, as you know, have not used that money to cover any of his expenses there in Mexico and Spain and stuff. So we are mortgaging our homes and selling private jet and any of our fine bottles of bourbon to cover his expenses.
Right, as long as he doesn't drink them first.
Because you're not drinking anymore, Chris.
No, I don't drink any less either.
Well, no, but you've taken a hiatus, which is great.
I'm on the wagon.
That's good. That's good. How's that wagon ride?
It's like a buckboard, but it's all good. No, yeah, I mean we drank a fair amount.
Speak for yourself.
Down at on our trip to Trek in Meadow Lake, and so I got back some Monday morning, and I basically said I'm not going to drink all week, so I'm sticking to my guns.
There you go, doing good.
Just do a little flush.
Speaking of drinking.
What's that?
We did a little bourbon tasting up there at Meadow Lake. That's going to be a little bonus episode. I'm gonna roll that into a bonus episode.
I'm gonna try to roll up my sleeves and edit that thing up later this weekend, and make that sucker live before the end of the weekend.
Wow, that's ambitious. Okay, well, if that happens, great. But yeah, we're going to release that as a bonus episode. And it was fun. I just came up with the idea, sitting around the campfire one night and said, hey, we need to do a blind bourbon tasting, whiskey tasting, I should say, not bourbon, because there was whiskeys in there.
Yep.
Excuse me. And I was like, this is great. I did not want to know any of the bottles or anything, and we'll get into all the details, but it was super great, eye-opening for me and a lot of people, and
some surprises.
Yeah, there was some pleasant surprises.
Yep.
And then and one unpleasant surprise, but we'll save it for the podcast.
That's right. Save it for about a week after this drops. So.
Okay.
Yeehaw. Let's see. You want to go into Ultra 4?
Let's do Ultra 4, the progressive.
Yep.
Sturgis in Sturgis there, the Buffalo Chip.
Black Hills Throwdown.
Black Hills Throwdown at Buffalo Chip.
Right.
I think that's the whole name.
Right. With
cover all the sponsors and everything in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go into some results here. Let's start with the let's work our way up, shall we?
Sure.
Go started from the bottom, now we're here.
So you want to go with
the golf cart? We're going to skip over the golf carts.
We'll go with the 4,600.
Although we will make an honorable mention there. Travis Zollinger was 4.
Yeah, absolutely. He was national champion.
We got to meet him
years ago. Yep.
Yeah, he's cool. So yeah, we'll skip over the golf carts here.
Right. We'll still go to 4,600.
No offense for the golf carts, but no golf cart talk here. I was giving so much shit to our buddies with the golf carts up there.
I know. Yep.
So if they would have went down the trail, they would have got my respect. Jesse did.
Well, yeah.
Jesse took the
dark.
4-seater golf cart in the dark we put bacon grease on the bottom skid plate, and he slid right down windshield 5.
Clanging and banging.
And then we got him back up. It was a little sketchy, but we got him back up.
That's right. All
right, 4,500. You got that in front of you? Or
I
you
do.
Want me to,
I do.
Go 4,500 class.
So third place, John Grounds.
Yep.
Second place, Dwayne Garrettson. And third place was Rick Lavezzo.
He must be an Italian.
Maybe.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
What's the matter, you, huh? We taking the race, 4,500 A main. So that's cool.
Yep.
Right on, Rick.
And then we got the 4,600 A main.
4,600. Oh, I love the number 1. But go ahead with number 3.
Alex Fleming, number 3.
Yes.
And then we had Sean McNamara, number 2.
Yep. Sean.
And do you want to go number 1?
Oh, it's just a great race name. And you just wonder if this is a real name, because who in their right mind would name their kid Twitchy?
I don't know.
There's got to be a story. We got to meet this guy. We got to find out how he got his name. But Twitchy McGee, if that's not a race car name, I don't know what is.
All right.
That's like, some of those NASCAR names too there.
That's right.
So good.
All right, moving into the 4,800 A main.
4,800 A main.
So this is the Everyman Challenge Legends class.
Yeah, the we like to call that the Kevin Jones class.
That's Kevin Jones class.
Ultra Justin Hall class. No, he's in 4,600, huh?
Yeah, he's in
46,
4,600.
sorry. This is the Kevin Jones class.
So, third place, Jeremy Jones.
Where's Amber? Is Amber 4,600?
No,
she's 46.
I think she's 46.
Yeah, she's 46. 4,500.
Dude, you're confusing me.
I know. I'm getting it all fucked up. Okay, sorry.
Wow.
Mike Austin here, signing off.
Zip it good. All right, second place was Chuck Crossland.
Yes.
Second place. And then number 1. Do you want to go there?
Chase Caprera.
Woohoo!
Good old Chase. He's always up there in the top one. So
we got to get him on the show.
We really do.
He's a local boy.
Okay, the big boy class here. This is
you want to do it?
This is unlimited.
4,400.
Unlimited 4,400. I'm gonna go back. Can I go like? I got to go back to 7.
Okay.
Cody Addington, local boy here and up in the hills. Actually, he's near Pollock Pines there. I hope his house is doing okay in these fires. And then we got Bailey Campbell, number 6.
Right.
She actually raced, right?
I believe so. Yeah. She's
So she only
has
back.
a certain number of races where she couldn't actually sit. So she's in the cockpit.
And then Marcos Gomez right there. Gomez brothers are
killing it.
Are right there. And they're actually near the fire.
Yep.
So hopefully they're okay. As a 5th, Brian Crofts, Bailey's husband, or soon to be, I should say, fiance. Not officially married yet,
I haven't
right?
heard that. That's great news.
Well, yeah, you know that. Okay, and then
I knew that. I didn't think they were engaged.
Yeah, they've been engaged for a while.
Oh, okay.
They got a couple kids together.
Right on.
And then Waylon Campbell, 3rd. So, I mean, just look at this lineup. And then Raul Gomez is 2nd. And then Von Gittin Jr. got his first Ultra 4 win.
Fun Hammer.
Right there, part of the Fun Hammer team. Yeah, and Lauren Healy was doing backflips. Super excited for his teammate there. So that's super cool.
Yep.
So, anyways, I had to go deep there. Some honorable mentions. Lauren Healy was 10th. JP Gomez 11th. So definitely... Edwin Abb was 15th. I don't know. You go Brian Caprera. I mean, you just keep going down. Bailey Cole was 20th. He had a little issue there. But it's all right. Did you see the meme that was out for those the memes of Ultra 4 or whatever?
No.
Oh, they get pretty harsh, but they had one. The Ultra 4 released the racetrack at Crandon.
Oh yeah.
Where all the pits are and parking and all the turns and everything. And they said they had a submarine in the pond saying,
"Oh shit!"
that Bailey was doing practice.
Wow,
it's funny because nobody got hurt, but that could have been a very unfunny situation.
So having said that, the next race coming up is in fact in Crandon. So. If you want to see information about the Crandon race, go to ultra4racing.com. At the top banner, I believe there are links to the race schedule.
We're supposed to be there. one of these years.
Yeah, one of these
You know who's
years.
going to be there? Justin Hall's going to be there.
Justin
That's
Hall.
badass.
That's going to be cool.
If he would have asked me to be on the pit crew, I probably would go, but I didn't get an invite. So
No.
Because I'm bashing on Dodgers too much. That's why.
Geez, yeah, his feelings are hurt just like mine. So anyway, Crandon's coming up. Go to ultra4racing.com if you want information on it. They will be streaming that also. 17 days until the Crandon Classic. So yeah, coming right up. Next deal. And then not long after that, we're going to have the Nationals, which is going to be down in Oklahoma. I don't know.
That's great. We should be there in Reno.
Wish it was in Reno.
Wow, West Motorsport Park.
Yep,
I am. That just pains me so much.
Yep,
that was such a great. Everybody loved it. Everybody, spectators, drivers. It was super convenient. Yep. Obviously, if you're on East Coast, it wasn't convenient, but I mean, everything was right there. And then going to, Reno, the Nugget there for the host hotel and the big banquet room and having
like 10 minutes away.
It was freaking awesome.
Yep. No, it's a big loss. So anyway, the national championships are in Oakland, Oklahoma. They're just
Oaktown.
They're going to race through the streets of Oakland.
That would be very entertaining.
A sideshow, baby.
Don't forget your firearms.
Right. Wow. Anyway, so that's our Ultra 4 update for this episode. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go through our just a quick rundown of our trip to Meadow Lake.
Oh yeah.
So you and I drove up, and it was a smooth ride. I mean, we got to camp a decent time. We had no issues, no hiccups.
Nope.
The only thing was stopping at Cisco Grove for fuel.
Oh yeah, no.
And we used to be able to pull in because they got a trucker side, with a couple pumps, and then they got the pedestrian side.
PSA, public service announcement.
Yeah, and so you used to be able to go into the trucker side, and obviously if there was trucks there or whatever, we wouldn't go in there. But there are no trucks there, so we buzz in there. No, you got to have some special card to get the pump going.
They don't take Misa and Mastercard anymore.
No, they didn't. So we swing around and go to the peasant pumps and fill up there. And then I'm like, it was like 10:30, 10:30 in the morning, and we hadn't eaten breakfast yet. And we were like, dude, Subway sandwich.
Yep.
And so I backed my rig into one of the big rig spots, and
you were backing up for about 10 minutes.
Well, it was busy.
Yeah.
That was busy over there, and you pulled up in the front, but I wasn't about to just park there and block the lanes and shit without me being in it. And it closed. That used to be a 24-hour Subway, or at least let me put it this way. I've been there at all hours of day and night, and it's never been closed.
No Sando for you.
No. So I go, shit. So I said, hey, let's stop at Porta Subs in Truckee.
That was a good call.
It is a good Sando. They hand carve right in front of you, whatever meat selection you chose. And good sandwich shop, but it's in a very busy shopping center.
That's true.
And so we took up, like 16 spots between Chris and I. And so I said, hey, we ate our sandwiches. And then I said, hey, I'm going to run into Safeway. I forget what I was grabbing.
Ice.
I was just going to grab a bag of ice just to top off the cooler and make sure everything was happy
but
going in.
But as you've trained me, you always stop by the glass case.
Yes, exactly. So you had gone to your local Safeway,
down here,
and found Old Elk for $41.97
on clearance.
That's clearance. Right. So anytime there's a 9.7 at the end, that usually indicates it's done. They're not going to carry it anymore. They're blowing it out for whatever reason.
Right.
So I go, I got to go check the case and see. You may see some Blantons. You never know what you're going to find in the glass case at Safeway.
Yeah, they don't charge exorbitant prices either.
No, they don't. And so I go over there and I'm like, ooh, Old Elk, not one, not two, but 3 bottles at $41.97.
Boom,
shink, right into the cart.
So you bought one?
I bought 3.
Oh,
I cleaned them out. I cleaned them out. I mean, dude, Old Elk at $42. Are you freaking kidding me?
I did the same thing. I bought
so I got that, and then I got my bag of ice. So, and then you text me and you're like, dude, hurry up, we're getting blocked in.
Yep.
And then there was all kinds of cars starting to park around.
It was lunchtime, man. People were piling in, and we had our trucks and trailers, and I'm like, we made it out, no sweat.
I'm like, don't worry, we'll get out of here. And sure enough, we did. But yeah, it was definitely a lot more congested than when we first pulled in.
Absolutely.
So then smooth travels, good old dirt road. It's the 7 miles, the first 7 miles of graded gravel was pretty damn nice.
It was very smooth.
We were towing at like 20, 25, so not blazing in, but that's fast on that road.
Yep.
When you're fully loaded. And then the last 3 miles is just low range and doing like 2 miles an hour.
Yep.
And then there's some huge holes by the spring that throw your camper on the side. Damn near rolled over in there.
Wrecked him, damn near killed him.
No, it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. So then we roll into camp, and then it's just game on. Kobe was already there.
Yep, he was 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah, Tom was there in a separate campsite.
Yep, that was weird.
It was a little different. We couldn't get the point. There was already people there, but whatever.
Yep.
But it was great. Cracked a beer and kind of figured out where we were going to camp.
Actually, we had a Manhattan.
Oh, we did. Kobe had Manhattan. Kobe and Alicia had Manhattans for us.
We radioed ahead.
Yes, that was awesome. Yeah, so another power of the ham radio right there.
That's right.
That's a great example of how ham radio can
about
come.
2 miles out when we gave them a heads up?
At least. And
coming in hot. Make sure they're ready.
And they did. They had Manhattans for us. Yes. How did I'm remiss of missing that. Good catch, Chris.
Oh, well, I try. I have my moments.
So, started out with a bang, and then it was like, we got to figure out where we're putting our campers because they're going to be here for a few weeks.
That's right.
And we found some great spots that normally would be right on the water, but it was water
was half mile away or something.
down pretty far. Good.
It was almost 100 yards.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was a good, long ways, 80 yards away or so.
Well, that's the drought for you. And I will say, we've mentioned it before, it's extremely dry out there. I mean, the roads driving in were dry and dusty. And that was, I guess there was even a rain shower earlier that day that it did.
Yeah, the road was wet coming in, so that was nice. And they got a pretty good rainstorm.
Yeah, but it's still wicked dusty. Lake was super low. This drought.
Well, they were draining. I think part of that was them draining, working on the dams below too.
Well,
so they were letting water out.
Perhaps. So getting ready for hopefully a really wet winter.
Yeah.
So I hope. Everybody pray.
Early wet winter.
But anyway, yeah, Jason's right. So we got our camper situated so we could kind of roll into the week of relaxation and wheeling and hanging out with our friends and family and whatnot. And so it was good. Yeah.
And then the podcast picks up from there where Justin rolled into camp.
That's right.
That Friday.
Uh-huh.
And then Saturday, of course, we did trail with the Wicks.
That's right.
Family there. Eric and Chris and Justin.
Right.
And that was epic. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go back. Just stop this episode right now and go back and listen to that one.
I think that's episode 117.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was awesome. So we won't rehash that other than...
I want to do it again.
Other than the next morning, Chris woke up Sunday morning and couldn't move.
Yeah, I was.
So,
I'm in the camper sitting on the step to go up to where my bed is, and Jason looks through the door. He looks, "You all right?" I said, "I need a day."
Yeah.
I just needed a day. So we were supposed to run trail again, and I was just like, there's no freaking way I can get in and out of my Jeep right now. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, we kind of rejiggered the day and just hung out in camp. We finished setting up camp.
Right.
Stadium kitchen.
Yeah, so we had a blast. I mean, the James and Rhonda rolled in, so Samurai James and Lady Samurai. And then, of course, we were there, Kobe and Alicia were there. And then
Jesse and Olivia,
Uncle Jesse, Olivia, and his daughter came up, and then Dave of Code Nilsson Law Firm.
That's right.
Came in with Caleb, his nephew,
right?
Which was great, and that was pretty much our group, right? Am I leaving?
Yeah, I mean, we had like up to 14 people that first weekend. We had Crystal was there, and
Tom's group, and Crystal Meth, and
by Monday night, it was down to just a core group.
There was 8 of us.
8.
There was 8 for dinner, and it worked out well. And then, there's some people coming and going in other campsites and stuff around us that we knew. And
some Mad Hatters rolled in.
Yeah, and then Mad Hatters started rolling in later in the week. And then, of course, Oli rolled in early. that Wednesday. Yeah, he rolled in Monday, I think.
Yep.
Really early.
Well, he's retired. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, so people started rolling in for the big Trek event that helped get camp set up and everything. So it was cool to have, some of that overlap and visit with people.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I never got out fishing. There was a lot of relaxing.
It was a long walk down to the beach.
Well, yeah, that's okay though.
Exhausted just
the fish are in a more concentrated area, so it should have been easier in theory to catch fish, right?
Were you able to see the bridge to walk?
I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it, but it is on Gaia. If you fire up your Gaia app and look at Meadow Lake, the bridge is apparent.
Okay.
And in that video, I was showing it to Jeff, Stone Cabin Jeff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I said, hey, here's that land bridge that goes across to where it used to be the houses of ill repute across the way there.
That was a very politically correct way.
You like the way very woke. I'm very woke since we had the Jay Calloway episode.
Woke as fuck.
So, anyways, great weekend.
I want to comment on the weather a little bit.
Yeah, to comment on the weather.
Because, you kind of never know what you're going to get up there, but you are in the high Sierra. I think we're around 6,800 feet up there at Meadow Lake.
71.
Oh, 7,100?
Yeah.
So either way, you're up there pretty high, and even in the summertime, you're kind of can expect to get it in the low 40s, potentially even into the freezing temperatures. And we've had that happen over the years that we've been going up there. So typically we'll have sweatshirts, hoodies, jackets, beanies, warm weather or cold weather gear, and then I always set my camper up with flannel sheets and blankets and my comforter just in case it gets cold. That whole week.
Didn't need those.
I never wore a hoodie.
Yeah.
And I just slept with a sheet.
I wore a hoodie a couple mornings and at night. There was a couple nights, but I'm very thin skinned.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty well insulated. So, but yeah, it was just blew my mind. I mean, every night I would, just get into bed. One night I think I fell asleep on top of of everything. And I woke up at like 2. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get under the covers.
Yeah.
Cover.
Yeah.
So, every year is a little different, but coupled the warm weather that we experienced the whole time we were there, plus the drought and all these other things, it's kind of, it is what it is, but we still had a ball.
I remember that Thursday night. So the weather was great. I mean, it was warm and stuff, but it was clear. We didn't get the smokes.
Right.
All those smokes. So then till Thursday night, it was actually like 2 or 3 o'clock Friday morning, and I had all the vents and everything open in the camper, and I thought our camp was on fire.
Yeah.
The smell of smoke was so bad, and I was having trouble breathing. And I run outside, and I'm looking around like, is there any orange glow around? Can I see flames? And everything was good. Campfire was well put out with water, so I went over to that. It was cold.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what the, and then as you start waking up and your eyes start somewhat focusing, and I'm trying to look, and I have my flagpole with my light on it, and so I look at it and it's just smoke, and I'm like, oh my God, Becky.
Wow.
And it was bad. And then, so I woke up in the morning when it was light again after sleeping for another hour or whatever, and then lifted up my shade and look, and I couldn't see across the lake.
Yeah, same here.
And then I heard you open your door, and I'm like, I didn't know if we were going to have to pack up and leave, or where's this fire at? I didn't have any cell service to see, but
we didn't have, and we didn't mention, but you and we had unloaded our campers off of our trucks.
It was off the truck, yeah. So it would have taken a little bit to get loaded and go.
Man, the fire's coming, loaded.
Right.
I've been
insured.
like, fuck it, we're gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was bad. Friday morning was bad. I opened the skylight or the shade over my bed, and I was like, that doesn't look like a very good sky. And then I walked out and walked down to the beach, and the sun was like this tiny little dot that was red.
Orange, reddy glow.
Like,
it was gnarly.
So, we were there all day. We were scheduled to leave. I was scheduled to leave early Saturday morning. I was going to take the Jeep and trailer home and leave the camper because we were going to come back up the following week for Trek.
Mm-hmm.
So, we putted around all day Friday, and then I loaded the Jeep and strapped it down and got it hooked up to the truck. And, 5 o'clock Saturday morning, I was wheels up out of camp in the dark.
Yeah, so I'm going to back up just a bit because there was a significant event that we didn't talk about. One of the couple night runs.
Oh,
and we went up to what we call Stargazer.
Yes,
and that's just outside of camp. I mean, it's literally 8-minute drive. I think maybe 10 if you're just.
It's also known as Cell Phone Hill.
Yeah, Cell Phone Hill, but it's really cool. It's well above Windshield 5, and you got the view of the canyon, and it's pretty damn spectacular when it's clear skies.
Yeah,
we've been up there for meteor showers, which has been unbelievable. So we go up there, and this is before the smoke came in on Friday morning. And so I was the first one up there in the buggy. Surprise, surprise. And so I find it's all granite slabs and the granite rocks and stuff. And there's like one that's like a perfect chair. It's like a chase lounge. You lay on it and you're leaning back and you just look right up at the sky. So I'm all cozied in. And I hear some vehicles coming up, and then I don't hear vehicles coming up. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. So I'm there just chilling and checking out the universe. And pondering, how insignificant we are, and in this large universe of ours, and what the meaning of life is, and all that stuff. Anyways,
Monty Python.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I forget who it was that somebody comes riding up and goes, "Kobe's broke."
Oh no, Georgia boy broke.
I go, broke? What do you mean broke? Like he doesn't have steering. I go, well, that's not good, but. Don't be fronting me none. I'm here looking at the stars.
Not my problem.
Not my problem. I'm here. I'm good. My buggy's fine.
Shit.
So I go, oh, shit. Okay.
That's not the way you are.
So I go back down the hill, and sure enough, his sector shaft freaking gone. Just snapped on. And it's not that hard of a trail. It's not like crazy rocky. I mean, it's just... not a gravel road, but it's, very mundane.
It's nothing. It's really nothing.
It's really nothing. And, and it just sheared. I mean, just sheared right off. And
I was fatigued.
It had to be, but I don't know. It was crazy. So then it's like, okay, now we got to get him turned around and go back. And I did this routine on Barrett Lake with my Jeep. It was not a fun ordeal not having steering. Steering and brakes are pretty damn important.
Yeah, you think?
So, long story short, we get him hooked up to the back of my buggy and turned around and then down. So normally, like I say, that drive is like, let's just say 10 minutes if you're just taking your time.
Yep.
It took us a good almost 2 hours to get back to camp.
It's like less than a mile.
Oh, shit. And so, you go, and then poor Caleb was kicking tires literally to keep him straight. And then, sometimes they go full lock.
Right.
Full lock one way or the other, and you have to back up, reset the tires, and then go inch down the hill. So got him back to camp, and then unfortunately that turned into a 3-day ordeal for Kobe to get parts running back and forth to Reno a couple times, and got a PSC new box ported so he can put RAM assist on eventually in the future.
Right.
So that was, a good upgrade, but not one that you wanted to do in a camp.
No. I mean, sawzall and then,
grinders,
sawzalls.
We thought he cut his finger off at one moment there. That was it was not good.
A grinder is a very dangerous tool.
Very cut off tool. Yeah. So, anyways, that went down, but he finally got it back together, and
it was driving. He drove it up on the
drove
trailer.
it. Yeah. No, he drove it around though.
I know he was there for a whole nother week.
Yeah, he was there for a long time. He never went home. He's partially retired now. I guess
went to Reno and Truckee a couple times.
Yeah. Went into another camp one night, and anyways, that was cool. And then our other night run was fun, though. I love doing that loop out and around. Yeah, we call it Catfish, and there's an old miner's cabin that was occupied up until 1972.
Yep.
And it's all flattened from the snows and stuff now.
A little tough to occupy it now.
Yeah, and then it pops you out right at the top of Windshield 5, and then you can go down 5 and back up. So that's always a fun little night gathering.
I will say that when we parked up at the top of Windshield 5 and we turned all of our lights off, it was so freaking dark I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face.
It was dark that night. The last few years we've hit hit it during a full moon or,
Yep, it was
moon.
always,
and it was just like a little crescent towards the end of the week. So that was pretty cool.
It was
being up in the
dark.
high Sierras with clear skies and no moon.
Yeah, I was actually, for a moment, I was afraid to get out of my Jeep because I was like, I'm going to trip, fall, and break my neck.
Yeah, it was dark. It was dark.
But then I remembered, I've got a flashlight in my Jeep.
So yeah, you two, there you go. Well prepared, like a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
So you took off Saturday morning.
Yep.
And I didn't even hear you leave. I was so freaking tired.
Yep.
And
I didn't hear myself leave.
And that Friday, so they're getting ready for Trek, and John and Renee, friends of ours, and John was on the last episode of 118 with Greg from Premiere.
Right.
So they're co-chairs of this event, and it's 10-mile dirt road into this place that we just described. It's 7 miles of decent gravel road, and then 3 miles of just bumpy, slow moving, but full, Class A motorhomes go into this place, semi trucks. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's not impassable,
Right.
It's not a 4-wheel drive road per se, but it's a dirt road that's rough.
Well, according to the porta potty company.
Yeah, so the porta potty company, the one that we normally deal with up there, or they deal with, I should say, would bring in a flatbed with porta potties and load them up with the blue goo and take off, and then come in every morning and service them. Well, this company said, no, this is a 4-wheel drive road. We're not driving them in.
Nope.
And so John goes out, and it was pretty bad. I was having trouble breathing that day and stuff. And he comes in, and it's like a 2-hour round trip for him to drive out and drive back in with a porta potty. And he goes, okay. I go, how many more are out there? And he goes, there's 3 more. I go, well, let me make this happen. So I went over to Ole, got a 2-inch ball hitch because I had 2.5. And then, of course, I go, James.
You can't handle the truth.
Wow. And then so James, I said, hey, Samurai James, let's go. He goes, hell yeah. And then John went out, but it was nice. Olivia rode with me. I put the AC on, non-circulate there, and it was nice, comfortable ride out in the Ford. Had the massage seats going, had the music going. We were chit-chatting and got out. And the shitters were they were on trailers, 2 shitters per trailer, and just dropped right in the middle of Meadow Lake Road right at the beginning. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Now, no jack stand or anything put down. There was 0 fucks given when that driver dropped that shit off. So I'm like, okay. So we had shitter races going back to the camp.
My God.
And you're just watching, the doors were like tie wrap shut, and, the tie wraps were breaking because these things are shearing back and forth.
Sure.
It's just a plastic little thing tied to a trailer. And it was pretty comical. We were laughing, and I guess I told James, I said, he's got that Dodge. I said, you should keep that hooked up because he just increased your resale value by $10,000. Just saying. Anyway, so we got him into camp, and I said, okay, we got him into camp. I don't know how you're getting him out because towing those things full out is not going to be an option. That's going to be a biohazard,
right?
And it's not going to happen. So I don't know what happened with that, but
rehash of 4-wheel parts.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So, but that company did not fulfill their end of the agreement. So I'm sure there's some issues there where
those
they're
shitters might still be sitting there.
I know they're going to have to take care of that. But anyways, we did our part of getting them to camp, and and people had facilities during the trip. So that took up a good part of my Friday afternoon.
Yep.
Which was fine, and I was glad to help. And then you took off Saturday, and then Tyler came into camp, and Samurai James and I and Tyler went down to hook up the repeater for the trail communications.
Right.
So we
down their committee.
I was like, I'm like, no, I want to, why not do the trail a 12th time? And it was my favorite trail. And so we went down pretty effortless. And then, Tyler talked about it on his podcast. He was missing 2 nuts.
You can't handle the
torques. Yeah, they couldn't because it was interesting. And Tyler told me at the bottom of Winch Hill 4 that he had never driven down Winch Hill 5, 4, 3 and before.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, how? He goes, no, I've always ridden. I rode with you, rode with other people. He goes, I've always done the beginning of the trail and not the end. I'm like, oh my gosh. So
he was a newbie.
He was a newbie there, and he did well. There, it was pretty interesting. That trail every year gets harder and harder,
Yep.
and so we get down to committee, and he goes, "Do you have any nuts?" I'm like, "Nope, no peanuts, pistachios, or anything like that. No, I need 5 nuts or whatever for this freaking shackles, his shackles." I'm like, "No way." So he goes, I go, maybe, I do carry some extra stuff in the buggy there. And I knew I had a bag of bigger nuts and bolts, but they were back at camp. So no nuts for you, Tyler. But I said, hey, just wrap it with electrical tape. I said, there's no, there's force on it, but it's not pulling force. It's going to want to pull it out per se.
It's sheer. It's.
But he did have those shackles that were just 2 straps of metal with no H weld in the middle, so they wanted to separate.
Yeah.
So we took a ratchet strap to one, moved one nut up to the frame, so it was taking most of the torque there. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, I'm like, these things just don't fall off. I'm like, somebody wasn't checking in their driveway or garage or here before.
Well, there were nylocks, right?
They're nylocks too, and nylocks you can only use once. You put you put it on the second time, they will back off. Not as easy as a regular nut, but anyways, I don't know if they were lost on the trail. That's surprising. I've never seen that happen before, but whatever.
I've got a tough time believing it had to happen because driving all the way from
so he drove it on the street, right? He didn't tow it up.
Interstate 80. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I don't know, but anyways, they were gone, and so we got them back up the trail. Okay, got the repeater set up, got back up the trail. It was a longer haul because we stopped and checking things out, and then. Yeah, he had to check his tape nuts. His tape nuts.
And it held. We had to do a little re-ratchet at the bottom of windshield 4 because the shackle was starting to splay out a little bit. But other than that, there was no other mechanical, which was great. Got back up, so we didn't get back till, oh my gosh, 4:30 we were at the top of winch, and I think we started at like 10:45.
So this is on Saturday?
This was Saturday, okay. And so I'm like, okay, I got to get back to camp, and I was planning on leaving that night,
Right.
So I loaded up the buggy. Rodney Muller was there in camp. We
that's
forgot
right.
to mention JL Latte machine rolled in.
Yeah, he came in on Thursday.
And he actually went down windshield 5 and back up.
Yeah, good for him.
With the latte maker.
Yep.
Didn't spill a drop.
Oh, really?
No.
So did it eject lattes for everybody?
I don't know. I don't know if it uses gelatin so that the latte sets up a little bit firmer or something. But it didn't spill at all. It was pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
He was there and he goes, dude, you want a burger? And I'm like, yeah, I would like a burger. So he hooked me up with a burger that night, and then I left camp, sadly. But it was nice driving out. Yeah, there we go. So anyways, that was it. I headed out. You were gone, and the Mad Hatters were rolling in. So,
but there's a happy part to this story.
Okay, what's the happy part?
Because we were coming back.
Well, that's true. We knew we were coming back.
That's why we left our campers behind.
So yeah.
Came home, worked for a few days.
Right.
Took care of a little bit of business, did some laundry, bought some refreshment, resupplied so we could haul stuff back up. Fresh water for the camper. I brought up a full tank of propane, some freshly laundered clothes because everything was filthy especially after the rollover. Oh wait, you have to go back to episode 117.
Oh, that's right, 117 to hear about the rollover. Top of windshield 5.
But yeah, so drove back up. I was supposed to leave work that next Thursday before Trek at noon, so you and I could try to caravan up. You were going to have Dirtbag Johnny with you, or you did have Dirtbag Johnny with you.
Right.
Anyway, I didn't get out of work until 2:30, and I drove straight from work up to Meadow Lake. I arrived, no issues really getting back into Meadow Lake. I think I arrived back at camp about 6:30 that night on Thursday, and then rolled right into the continuing party mode, vacationing.
How nice was it just to come into camp and just open the door of your camper and you were all set up?
That was great.
Wasn't that nice?
Just swept it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Opened the refrigerator. There was a cold beer waiting for me.
And it had rained that day as well.
I believe so. Yeah,
prior to coming in,
there was some moisture on the ground.
Yeah, that Thursday.
So I mean, it was the Thursday before. Actually, Trek had started on Thursday, so there were quite a few vehicles coming in. Tow rigs with flatbed trailers and whatnot, with their buggies and Jeeps and Toyota things on there coming in down Meadow Lake Road. That slowed me down a little bit because I was literally just a truck.
Yeah,
with an empty bed, no trailer, nothing. So
yeah, that was nice.
I was at full street pressure or 80 psi, so that was kind of a rough ride.
And Johnny and I were loaded down pretty good. We had all the gear for the booth.
Yeah, you had quite the Tetris going.
There was a lot going on. a lot of stuff.
But Trek, rolling into Trek 2021 was a success, I believe. I mean, there was a great crowd. Actually, I would say that it was one of the mellower crowds.
It was.
There wasn't a lot of jackassery going on, which was kind of nice.
It was a nice family crowd. Family-friendly, fun crowd.
It was.
I didn't see a large buggy contingent there this time. Not saying that the buggy guys are creating all the ruckus, because I'm a buggy guy. But
you look kind of sketchy.
I am definitely sketchy. I run. But anyways, it was. I mean, it was. Normally at night. They got the band playing Friday and Saturday night, and then they end usually around 11 o'clock or so. Mm-hmm. But usually the camps, just camps around the lake or somebody's partying and having a good time. Loud music and yelling and laughing. And, back in the old days, there was gunshots and stuff. There was all kinds of crazy stuff going on. No, it wasn't that bad. But,
well, I mean, like, for example, Saturday night, after you had finished emceeing the raffle, that was super cool, by the way, having you representing Wheeling Wine and Whiskey up there for
oh yeah, that was fun. It was a fun deal. I was we got some new ideas for next year to make it run a lot smoother, but we were just doing some improvising and trying to get raffle prizes out and all that stuff, but it was fun. Kept the crowd going and till Steve slowed it down a little bit, but that's all right.
A little bit. It's all right.
Right.
But you want to reward the hard workers and the volunteers that make Sierra Trek happen, and that's wouldn't happen without all those volunteers doing their thing. Whether it's cooking the food that everybody eats.
Oh well, yeah, no, we kept praising the volunteers because that event would not happen, and there's some people that really, it's not just that one weekend; it's all freaking year they're prepping for this and making phone calls and making sure people and especially the chairs and co-chairs, Jeff Dax and Coral, and then of course you got co-chairs John and Renee. Yep. You're dealing with volunteers, and that's all fine and dandy, but it's not a paid position. And
it's like herding kittens.
Well, yeah, and you ask somebody to do something, they're like, "Yeah, I got it." Well, there's, it's like, well, I'm a volunteer. You can't tell me what to do. Some people take that attitude, or
right.
It gets a little difficult because it's not a business per se where you're like, dude, you do your job or you get reprimanded and fired.
Yeah, but I think most people do it happily.
Oh, they do. People sign up because they want to do it.
Exactly.
And it's great.
They're doing the showers, or they're doing the kitchen, or they're doing the bar, or raffle, or
and some of those runs ran late, and they kept the showers open, and they kept the dinners going until the last person got fed, which was great. And I mean, some people were there for 8-10 hours in the kitchen to make sure everybody got fed. So pretty damn cool.
It's a great operation. It really, if you've never been to Sierra Trek, like I said, there was no Sierra Trek in 2020, so this is a roaring return for it in 2021, and I think it was a big success.
Right.
So I don't know what the final numbers were for funds raised for it's basically a big fundraiser for Cal 4. And, when those final numbers are announced, we'll be happy to share it with our listeners.
Yeah, I know the raffle did well. I think Renee hit her goal there, so that was great.
Cool. Right on.
So then we had our booth set up.
That's
there.
right.
So we both brought our rigs home, so we weren't wheeling that weekend. And it was nice just to hang out in camp Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
And Sunday morning and just catch up with people. That was my 31st year up there.
Wow.
For the event, which is pretty crazy.
You're getting old.
I am. But it was neat.
You're not
catching
too far
up with
behind the other guy, that 43 year.
Yeah, right.
43-year guy.
So it was just really cool to catch up with people and meet some new friends and having the booth there. you know, it was super cool having people come up. Oh, hey, great to meet you, and we listen to your podcast, and love it, and that's awesome. You know,
you have to put some faces to names.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
People that have called in or emailed or the patrons or who knows what, but certainly appreciate any listeners that came by, your current listeners, and hopefully we picked up some new listeners during the weekend.
Yeah, we picked up, there's definitely some people that didn't know what a podcast was nor cared what a podcast was. But then there was other people that were like super intrigued and like, oh, wow, that sounds really cool. You know, we'll check it out.
Exactly.
So if you were listening to this for the first time, welcome. Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
It was nice meeting you at Sierra Trek 2021.
And if you met us, DM, I do have some names here of people we met. I took some notes when I was in the booth. I know we took turns in the booth, and Johnny was there pretty much all the time. He did well selling his dirtbag swag.
He sold a lot of big zips.
Those big zipper sweatshirts. Well, he's selling them for $80, which is like a lot for a sweatshirt, but he sells them for $100 online.
Yeah, no, big discount.
We had our koozies out there. We sold a lot of koozies, our new Ultra Mega koozies.
Ultra Mega, yeah. It was
had them sitting special on my leaf spring there just to demonstrate how much. Right. I said, man, Chris, I need something magnetic. You know, I was going to bring a high lift jack up, but you know, those fall over and stuff and dangerous. I said, I got my old leaf spring here. I'll just set that on too. And hey, it worked out great.
It worked perfect.
We sold some shirts and hats.
People are like, is that spring for sale?
Yeah. It's a YJ 2.5-inch spring over spring.
Nice.
Anyways, so hey, one of your buddies with a fellow YJ owner. You remember Jake? That's a dairy almond farmer there in Chico.
Oh yeah.
Fifth generation.
Yeah.
Got to meet him.
Yeah, his YJ's a little bit more built than mine.
It's pretty set up.
Pretty set up. He's got a V8 and all that stuff.
I went over there and looked at that thing. That thing was badass.
Yeah.
And then there was Jake from Cardo Tracks, ran into him, so that was cool. And he actually donated some money to Friends of Fordyce and the Rubicon Trail Foundation.
I saw that.
There. So that was really cool. We did a little presentation there on Saturday night. His buddy Tim from BFG Tire, that was cool meeting him.
Okay.
So Timmy there. And then, of course, the Peak family came by. That was awesome.
That's right.
Jacob, Alex, Andrew, and Carla.
We partied with them a little bit.
Yeah. They were hanging out with us Saturday night after the raffle, and we were tearing down the booth. And
they jumped in and
they helped us. They helped us load up the truck, and
many hands for make for easy.
It was
work.
super cool. Yeah. So thank all you guys and Carla for helping out.
Yep.
We also had Carla, the camp host, the former camp host who was interim camp host that weekend. I don't know, whatever that played out, but yeah, she was great.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, because that was, I think 4 years ago was when she first started hosting.
Right
there at the lake 4 or 5 years ago. So that was super cool. Who else do I have here? So we got them. I don't know. Do I have any more notes?
It was just, dude, there was so much going on.
So many people. Of course, the Unimog guy was there. Ron hung out at the booth quite a bit. Yep. Yeah, so that was cool.
Then we had that fireman and his buddy Jeremy and I forgot. I have this card somewhere here.
Dustin.
They hung out in our booth, and they're from Reno, and they invited us down to their shop to record and
Jeremy is a good friend of John.
Right.
John Allen. So
right.
And he was at KOH.
Right.
Yeah, with us. So anyways, it was super cool, but it was funny, some of the old timers, they come by and, like, hey, have a sticker or whatever. You listen to podcasts? What the hell's a podcast?
These guys they have their little flip phone, they don't know what a smartphone is. Yeah. What's a podcast? No, I'm not listening to a goddamn podcast.
No, that's for those young whippersnappers.
This is old school people, I mean, all age groups were represented there. It was really great to see everybody, and good times were had by all. I don't think there were any real issues at Trek this year. I mean, I know there's
a couple medicals. One was a participant that actually CHP Chopper came and got.
Yep.
We were preparing the area. There was a bunch of people preparing the area with a water truck, and then clearing out the area for Life Flight to land in camp. But fortunately, CHP was in the area and was able to jump on it faster and actually throw a line down
hoisted him
I
up.
heard, and hoisted him up, and I guess that was pretty exciting to watch. Kelly got to see that, and his brother, but I remember hearing a recount of it in camp, and they were just telling him, just look up at the belly of the chopper, look up at the belly of the chopper, because they were way above the tree line before they hauled him inside the campers or the chopper. So yeah. Anyways, and then there was a dirt bike rider that Kobe and I rescued. More Kobe. Kobe came running into the booth, and he goes, "Dude, you know how to ride a motorcycle? Come with me now." And I'm like, "What the?" He said, "Get it, come on." And so I hopped in his rig, and this guy was riding from the dam, really nice KTM, and he did a Superman. I mean, he clearly, because I went to get on the bike to ride it back, we got him in Kobe's Jeep and took him to the medic. We have an in-camp medic, and they surveyed the situation and said, "Hey, we got to get you out of here." So they transported him to the hospital, and he ended up with, I don't know, 5-6 broken ribs, punctured lung,
collarbone.
Yeah, collarbone broken. So he was definitely in shock when I got there. You know, it was clear signs of shock, and it was like, okay, dude, let's get you some medical attention right now. So I rode his bike back. It started right up, but the handlebars were like full cocked when I was riding straight to the right, and I'm like, oh god, he took a hard hit. So
it just goes to show you never know what's going to happen out there.
No, and he had his full protective gear on too. Right. His helmet had a big old dent out of it and a chunk out of it, and his gear was ripped, but he had all the protective gear on and was
still had his bell rung.
Yeah, clearly an experienced rider. I mean, with the way this bike was set up, it was well ridden, and you know, I could just tell that this wasn't his first rodeo, but shit happens. And so anyways, those were the only two medicals, thank God. And I guess both of them are doing well.
Good.
Was the last report we got. So
right on.
But yeah, great event. And RC cars, we got to, did you ever do the RC car thing? It was right behind our booth.
No, those were private cars, weren't they?
Well, yes, they were, but they were letting people, drive them.
No.
So
didn't do it.
Oh, man.
I was busy watching the booth and trying to sell koozies.
Oh, good. At least somebody was doing that. So these guys, go over there. Samurai James was with me. And so I'm like, okay, we got to check this thing out. And super cool, they got this full rock garden set up, these bridges.
Water hole.
Yeah, they started putting water in. The course evolved throughout the weekend, which was a lot of fun to watch because it was right behind us. And I'm trying to look for the names of the guys that put this on. And so, the guy goes, "Oh, you want to try?" So he gives me like this pickup truck, and I'm like, "I want the rock buggy." He goes, "Oh, well, that's so and so's, and he's not here right now." And so I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's go for this truck." So I'm, he's like, "Okay, just real easy with the throttle and everything." And I'm like, "Okay," and it wheeled really well. Mm-hmm. And then the guy came back with the actual rock buggy. And the thing was heavy. It was like 25 pounds.
What?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, it was badass. And of course, he's telling me all about it. I mean, it looks like a scaled down rock buggy.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the guys' names here. So it was Dooley, Jason, and Elo that set this track up.
Okay.
And so I think Elo was the one that was filming me, and I think I was riding his little rock buggy, and Dooley was the one that set me up with the truck first, I believe.
Okay.
And it was that rock buggy was badass.
They have
and it
water-filled
crawled.
tires?
I don't know, but it stuck. It stuck really well in this course. And so we got a little video. I gave a shout out to Randall, from Axial there. I said, eat your heart out, Randall. I got this rock buggy going through this RC course, but it was fun.
He gets into into Pretty Penny and tears it up.
Oh yeah. I was like, I could see doing this. And I've had people tell me, I think Mike Austin even mentioned he's got one, and he's like, dude, it really helps you out with real rock crawling because you got to pick lines and everything. And I could see where that would be, but it's a whole nother hobby that I don't need to get involved with.
Right.
Because he was saying they make like rock chalk axles and they're like $500, and I'm like, crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah, they get crazy.
This is insane.
It's yeah, and then I mean the whole thing with the axial, you used to buy the car and the battery separate, and then the remote separate.
Well, yeah.
Then of course you got to upgrade your tires or your shocks or your axles or batteries or.
But it was
make sure you have plenty of LED light bars and all.
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But super cool, really really fun. They had a car show. The snack bar, man. We went over for lunch that day. Got a tri-tip sandwich and fries for $7.
It was on point. Yeah, for sure. No, yeah.
And the food at the event, we got you got served breakfast and dinner. You were on your own for lunch.
Breakfast, pancakes or
my God, with everything,
biscuits and gravy one morning.
Yeah,
so that was super good.
Yeah, and then we had a tri-tip dinner and ribs and chicken and the food was really good. Salads, pulled pork one night.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a great deal.
Dessert,
it really is.
It was
if you're not into off roading and you just like if you're not into hardcore rock off roading or an overland or whatever, come on out. Come out to 2022 Sierra Trek.
Yeah. And Lorenzo had fun. He was there. He hung out in the camper most of the time. He heard that Jimmy was coming up, so he was a little afraid to go outside the camper. He was hiding behind the couch pillow most of the trip.
I saw him pop his head out.
He did.
Times.
He did.
It's like, is it safe? Is it safe?
Yeah. I mixed him a couple Manhattans. He was appreciative of that.
Yeah, I saw that.
But and he kind of tidied up the camper while I was gone, so it was good.
All right. Well, at least he wasn't completely assless or useless.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else on track?
So, no. Let me check my notes here. Oh, you left your wallet up there that I had to get.
That's right.
The first trip.
When I left camp, I
Saturday morning.
Got out to Upper Truckee Meadows there, and I'm like, I think I forgot something. And I'm like, I got to turn around. I'm not driving that road again. So I looked at my fuel gauge and I said, I got enough. Mm-hmm. And I texted my wife and said, hey, I forgot my wallet back in camp, and I think I've got enough fuel to make it home. But just in case, you might need to meet me in Tracy with a credit card so I can fill up the truck. I actually I got such good mileage coming down the hill that I ended up pulling into Livermore with 100 miles of range still on my tank.
Yeah, well, it's a steep downhill.
Yeah,
eats it up going up, and then you just cruise going down.
Yeah, and I was a lot light. I didn't have the camper on and stuff, so it was whatever. But anyway, that was. But you were. I fortunately you called me because you thought something was still running in my camper.
Somebody came up and says his water heater's running, and I'm like, no way. And I didn't go over and look at it to verify, but it was your refrigerator had kicked on, the gas on the refrigerator.
Well, I've got a little fan in there that circulates stuff too.
So I go, no. And then you said, hey, by the way,
can you get into my camper?
My wallet's in there. I go, what?
So you fortunately you brought it home to me on Sunday, so I didn't have to worry about it all week, which was great. So.
Yeah, that is a Costanza wallet. It was so thick that I actually had to get the buggy winch and winch it out of your camper. There was so much money in there and cash. I was like, holy hell, right. I'm going to get, there's going to be an armed robbery on the way home here. I was so nervous.
I was wondering, but you got a new bike and a new car.
Right, I did. I did get a few things there. It was nice. You didn't notice?
Haven't seen the credit card bill
Perfect. We're just blaming it on Lorenzo.
Right. So yeah, that's kind of the deal. It was a fun time. We rolled out of there Sunday afternoon for the final time this year. Well, me for the final time this year, and then slow rolled our way home. But we did do a quick stop in Truckee for the night, or Donner Summit for the night on Sunday night. Visit a dear friend of ours.
Yes, Carla. So thank you for hosting us Sunday night at Kid Rock Lake. That was fun. Worked out great. Never been there before. It's a group camp, and it was unoccupied on Sunday night, so we had the place to ourselves.
It was great,
and just backed in there and fixed a nice dinner. Kobe fixed dinner.
Hung out and chatted until the wee hours. Well,
it wasn't that late. I think I was in bed by 10:45 or something. Yeah, I was dead tired.
Me too.
And I had so much shit in my camper that I got to climb over to get to. Oh, it's just.
And the smoke was still horrible.
Oh, and the smoke, and it was hot.
Oh, it was.
I
think it was 91 when we pulled in there.
Yeah, we said 6 a.m. departure, and we were out that gate at 6:10 or something. Yep. So we did good. and got on the road and got home, and traffic was good. So that was nice.
Yep. No, it was easy peasy.
And I just got the camper unloaded. It's still in the truck, but I got everything inside unloaded. So the cleaning process has begun.
It's always sad when the camper comes off the
Oh,
truck.
shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
I unloaded my camper on Monday morning or afternoon, whatever. So anyway, back to reality, as we've said, and that's our Trek recap. I thought it was a great trip. Sad to not be there. Hopefully next year we can get up there, and Meadow Lake has more water in it. Hopefully we have a kick-ass winter.
Yeah, that'd be great. And it definitely Trek grew this year.
Yep.
For numerous things, one, just people just wanted to get out and party, and it was great. So I have a feeling next year, and it's going to be the 55th annual, and that's going to be, and John and Renee are going to be chairs if they're not divorced by then over this event. So we'll see. They met at the event. It would be ironic if they get divorced at this event too.
Well, you never know.
No, but they handled it well, and they learned a lot from this year.
Oh,
so
sure
that's
did.
part of being co-chair, and you get to not go in blind the year that you're doing it. So
Exactly.
it was great. There was a lot of obstacles to overcome that was not in anybody's control, and all the chairmen and chairwomen did great. Chair people. See, I'm woke.
Chair thems. Chair theys. Anyway, you know what? Another big growth. I mean, a couple of years ago with Trek, there was 0 vendors or 1 or 2 vendors. This year was quite a big improvement in that situation between Dirtbag and us, and
more flat. More Flate was there.
Flate. Yeah, I mean,
poor Tyler was running communication out that thing. You just watched him deteriorate as the days went on. He was so tired.
Right. Traeger.
He may still be sleeping. Yeah, Traeger was there. Rubicon Foundation and
Metal Cloak.
Yeah,
and Power Tank showed up.
Sneevely's. Yeah,
Sneevely's. Yeah.
Yeah, Power Tank was there Saturday. Talked to Steve and Tyler.
4 Wheel Parts was there for a bit.
They listen. We gave them some koozies.
Yeah, no, they were cool.
Trying to get them that Trail Hero again.
I chatted with Steve and Tyler a little bit. So yeah, no, it was good time. So
yeah. All right. What else do we have here?
Well, we
wrap
have
this thing up.
No, we've got to talk a little bit about what's happening with these fires.
Womp womp womp. Dude, California is just burning up.
It sucks. Well, we mentioned during this previous segment that there's a lot of smoke, and the smoke comes from fire. And while we've been home, while we were coming home, I guess this new fire, the Caldor fire, which started near Pi off of 88, has kind of erupted into a significant and dangerous situation.
Yeah.
So much so that El Dorado National Forest is closed
till the end of September.
Till the end of September.
Or till they determine it's safe to go back.
Right.
But they don't want people recreating up there while they're trying to fight this fire, which makes total sense.
Exactly.
And, it gets remote, especially you get into the Rubicon and stuff, one way in or out, depending on where the fire's at. So, it just makes good sense that they shut it down. It really sucks. It sucks even more for the people that are, have lost homes or in danger of losing their homes and all that shit. I went through this a year ago, exactly a year ago, came home from Trek, and there was a fire behind the hills of my house here. So, it's a scary thing. So
no doubt. So the Rubicon's closed, Barrett Lake is closed, Strawberry is threatened, and I'm not sure if it's closed. It's a through trail, but
anything in the El Dorado National Forest,
I would advise just to stay away. The El Dorado National Forest Rangers are advising everybody to stay away. There's a potential chance that CHP is going to close Highway 50 because the fire is threatening the coming up on the from the south up to the highway,
right
near Ice House Road and Fresh Pond, and it's threatening Pollock Pines. So yeah, stay away if you have no business being there, and just don't go.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully when this airs, things are under control. But as this airs right now, it's 54,000 acres and 0% containment. So, and then of course you have the Dixie Fire, which is just wreaking all sorts of havoc up northwest of Tahoe.
Right.
And there's numerous fires burning. So, obviously, pray for all the people that have property or lives in the way, and for the firefighters that are putting their lives in harm's way to fight these fires for us.
Oh yeah.
And I know that Ultra 4 Jones is on the fire lines right now, fighting the Dixie Fire, and hopefully he's staying safe and he comes home safely to his family.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This has just been man, I remember fires as a kid, but it was like, one, and never a crazy major fire, and it just seems to be getting worse and worse every year.
Yep, for sure.
So
I think that's enough on that. I just real quick, just clinic, spring clinic or fall clinic for Esprit de Four, our safety clinic, is sold out at this point. So if you didn't get signed up, hopefully you can get in on the spring session next year, May.
Third weekend in May.
And then last thing is, I just want to say a shout out to the Snail Trail boys. They did this. They aired episode 220 last week when they interviewed John Arns.
Oh yeah, and Merlin.
I talked about the history of the Rubicon Trail. Excellent episode, guys. Super, super good. If you don't listen to Snail Trail, you don't care about Toyotas, you really just don't give a shit about them. This is an episode to listen to. It's a great episode, worth a listen. So
it really is. If you had any interest at all in the Rubicon Trail, it is definitely. I mean, they scratched the surface, but there's some great stories, great background of how the history of the trail, and I'm so glad that they documented it. So it will live in infamy.
I'm gonna do it in tablets.
Yeah, see, you know how to carve in stone tablets from your kindergarten and classes, right?
Exactly.
So, they definitely. I hope they do some more with John and Merlin, because it is just super cool. I mean, been on the trail several times, know the trail inside and out. Have heard some stories, but there was a lot of stuff that I was just sitting there driving in my truck going, oh my God, that's so cool. Or, oh my gosh, that's how that happened.
Right.
So really cool. Check it out. What episode number was that, Chris?
220.
220 on Snail Trail 4x4. So,
yep.
And then come right back to us and just continue listening to us.
Yeah, because we have much better content and we are faster growing.
Hey, but we did get a shout out.
Oh, that's true.
A shout out. Our buddy Jeff here restarted his podcast. It's 0 to 60, and it's spelled out 0 ZERO, the number 2, and then 60 spelled out SIXTY. 0 to 60, the Rogue Element,
right? And
it's episode 12. It's their latest episode here that aired on the August 11th.
Okay.
Whoa, excuse me. But it's about 2 hours long, but right at the 1 hour mark, he gives us a shout out for Old Elk, and pretty cool. So thank you, Jeff, for recognizing us.
Appreciate that.
We have been trying to coordinate schedules to get him on.
Yep.
And also talk about Got Your Six coffee.
Oh, good coffee.
So I was drinking that up there at the lake.
Good coffee. I'm out. I got to order more.
Really good. Oh,
or you can send me some, but
I like my new coffee pot.
Oh yeah, no, the French press.
Got I got rid of the glass one and got the one that I got you for Christmas. That thing kept it hot. Oh, so good.
Insulated, double, the vacuum style.
Yeah, vacuum canister, double walled vacuum.
Yep. Keeps the coffee hot.
Yeah, keeps things hot and keeps things cold. But how does it know?
It just figures it out.
How does it know?
It's all about insulation, man. It's about ball bearings.
Ball bearings these days. Ball bearings and stickies. It's all about ball bearings and stickies these days. Hey, we still got that Factor 55 thing going on.
Oh, that's right.
End of the month, right?
That's the end of the month.
Okay,
it's coming up a week and a half.
You go to IG and look up our July 27th post.
That's correct.
And that's where you got to tag 3 friends. Just follow the directions. Real easy. Mm-hmm. And you can be entered to win the Factor 55 Haas Fairlead, yes. And then a little teaser, a little Easter egg. We're going to be talking about Trail Hero here real soon with the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Wow, what was that?
That was a duck. I didn't step on it either. That was actually Samurai James calling in, interrupting the podcast.
What the hell?
Jeez,
Samurai James.
Come
on. All right. So, that's a little tease, little Easter egg for that.
Yeah.
How do they get a hold of us, Jason?
Send up a bat signal.
There you go.
Did you see the Trump signal?
I did.
That
I did. Yeah.
that was great. Another meme going around.
I saw it. Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, you can get a hold of us through email.
That's right.
That's Jason or Chris at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Of course, hit us up on the IG page.
It's hitting
which
at
is
Jason.
Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, and I have a ton of stuff to dump. I just need time to do it, and I think I'm going to be home this weekend, so maybe I'll have some time to do that.
I have wine pickups this weekend.
Oh, see, there you go.
I have to travel up to Livermore.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. And then, of course, we've got our phone number, which is
408
800
5169.
That's right. 408-800-5169. Give it a call. We have some messages to play, but we'll do it next podcast. We're running a little long now, but call in, and we love the comedy there and the jabs and the funny content that our listeners have come up with. The voices.
Great shit.
Oh my gosh. So keep that coming.
Yep.
We will play it on the air and make comments, and we'll edit it out if we don't like it. So, Tyler keeps asking why he hasn't heard his. Well,
I don't know.
Lorenzo, cut it.
Lorenzo is
cutting room floor.
Super producer Lorenzo's back on the job.
He's on his A game now.
He is. He's
really on his A game.
Glassy-eyed, and his fur's glistening.
He's really on the redemption train right now.
He's back in shape. He's on the treadmill every other day. So little donkey treadmill.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It is. It's pretty cool.
It's working out. So also don't forget about our website, www.wheelingwineandwhiskey.com, where you can see all the links to our merch and Patreon.
Get your new Ultra Mega Koozie.
Ultra Mega Koozie, yeah. And I guess there's packs where you can order more than one and get discounts.
Oh, yeah. Johnny's doing all these group buys and stuff now.
For sure.
I don't know.
So, yeehaw.
All right. Well, cool. I got nothing else.
I got nothing.
All right.
We're out.